fresh meat. Oh, Canada.
Prescott is a highly classified government academy where orphaned girls are trained from childhood to become deadly assassins. These girls have never experienced love or affection and have been taught to eliminate targets since they first learned how to walk. The school's leader, Hardman, constantly reminds them that attachments are dangerous because emotions are a weakness for secret agents. However, one of the academy's top students, Agent 83, struggles to accept this belief. More than anything, she dreams of having a real family, but no one at Prescott is willing to give her that connection. On top of that, her exceptional skills make her the best student in every category, causing many of her classmates to resent her, especially her biggest rival, Agent 84. Thanks to her outstanding performance, Agent 83 becomes the first student in her class to be activated for field missions. Her first assignment is to retrieve a briefcase from a man, and she completes the task flawlessly within minutes. Going on missions gives her the chance to see the outside world, but it also makes her envy the ordinary lives of girls her age. During another operation, she takes some personal time to collect information on how normal teenagers spend their days. With every movie she watches and every new experience she observes, she becomes increasingly fascinated by the teenage lifestyle. Back at Prescott, Agent 83 receives a new mission to capture the notorious American arms dealer, Victoria Knox. Once again, the assignment leaves Agent 84 frustrated and disappointed. Before the mission begins, Agent 83 is caught reading magazines during the briefing session. Hardman scolds her for being distracted, yet still selects her for the operation. Victoria Knox is a clever and dangerous woman who enjoys eliminating Prescott agents whenever she gets the chance. To catch her by surprise, Agent 83 allows herself to appear captured before taking down Knox's henchman. She then attaches a balloon to Knox without her noticing. Moments later, a plane passes overhead, catches the rope, and lifts both women into the air. Unfortunately, Knox still has a gun and begins shooting at Agent 83, forcing her to let go and plunge into the river below. Then Knox is brought aboard the aircraft, where she comes face to face with Hardman. The two spend some time talking, as though they once shared a close personal connection. Meanwhile, Agent 83 survives the fall without suffering any injuries. As she prepares to answer Hardman's call, she suddenly considers escaping Prescott for good. She throws away her radio, causing her to be marked as inactive. For the first time in her life, Agent 83 is free from the prison she has always known and finally gets the chance to pursue her dream of living as a normal teenage girl. To hide her past, she takes on the identity of an orphan named Megan Walsh and enrolls in a student exchange program. She chooses the cheerful Larson family to be her host family. After arriving in Newton, USA, Megan is picked up by the Larsons. She awkwardly hugs the welcoming Mrs. Larson and her son Parker, but Liz, the daughter, is far less welcoming and keeps her distance. Megan even hugs a random man, thinking he is Mr. Larson, only to discover that Mrs. Larson is divorced.
Sorry.
When she arrives at the house, Megan is touched by Mrs. Larson's warm hospitality and feels grateful for it. During dinner, Megan quickly becomes friends with Parker, who is obsessed with being a ninja. Liz, however, remains difficult to connect with. After dinner, Megan returns to her room and starts planning out her cover story. Using pictures of magazine models as inspiration, she ends up overdressing for her first day of high school. As soon as she arrives, she becomes the center of attention and is mocked by the other students. Seeing this, Liz calls her a freak show and reluctantly lends her some spare clothes. The gesture leaves Megan feeling both confused and upset. After changing, Megan nervously waits for her turn to go on stage and be introduced. Then Roger introduces himself to her and helps calm her nerves. Roger is in charge of the stage lighting, and Megan accidentally references the wrong magazine, saying that lighting is only for geeks who couldn't get into the band. Despite that, Roger is attracted to Megan and becomes the first person to show her genuine kindness. He also reminds her that the school bullies can be especially harsh. Finally, Megan's turn arrives. The school bully, Gooch, immediately humiliates her in front of everyone, and the crowd joins in. Fortunately, the school's star student, Cash Fenton, comes to her rescue. He sings to her, and Megan instantly falls for his charming looks. The other girls are equally captivated by him. Cash comforts Megan and invites her to join his band. He then performs a song while the crowd cheers him on. Later, Megan attends her first class and takes a seat next to Roger, her new friend. The two quickly bond as they share the same sense of humor and enjoy each other's puns. When the class ends, the teacher announces that the students will be assigned seats with designated partners the next day. Megan immediately sets her sights on Cash, as she watches Cash leave the classroom, but then Gooch walks over and tries to slap her cheeks, but Megan easily takes him down by herself. That night, Megan sneaks into the school office to alter the seating chart and place herself beside Cash. Using her advanced skills, she completes the task quickly and slips out unnoticed. The next morning, Megan confidently takes her seat next to Cash, but she soon finds herself competing with other girls for his attention. However, the teacher selects Cash to be the lab assistant because he has also crushed on him. Later, while doing a workout at home, Megan notices a mysterious van watching her. The vehicle continues following her all the way to school, leaving her increasingly distracted and suspicious. The day of the competition finally arrives, and Megan puts on her Viking mascot costume and performs her dance to energize the event. Out of nowhere, several masked men jump out of the mysterious van and attempt to kidnap her. Even though she is heavily outnumbered, Megan effortlessly defeats them one after another using the combat skills. She even throws her axe at one of the kidnappers as he tries to escape. It soon turns out that the masked men are actually students from a rival high school, and the kidnapping attempt is simply part of a long-standing tradition. Then Megan runs away from the scene in embarrassment, so Roger follows her and tries to make her feel better, but his efforts do not help. Back at home, Megan becomes frustrated by her inability to fit in as a normal teenager. She feels that surviving high school is somehow harder than enduring Prescott's brutal training. Hearing the noise, Mrs. Larson comes to talk with her like a caring parent. She reassures Megan that these experiences are completely normal in high school and encourages her to stay true to herself. The next day, Megan returns to school and once again finds everyone staring at her. This time, however, the attention comes with applause and cheers. The fight from the previous day was recorded and went viral overnight. Even the students who usually bully her are impressed. A little later, Cash approaches Megan and invites her to a jam session. She arrives ahead of time, and Roger suddenly sneaks up behind her. Startled by the surprise, Megan instinctively takes him down, nearly leaving him unable to breathe. As they talk, Roger notices how unusual Megan is when she starts explaining martial arts techniques, but he simply smiles and accepts her for who she is, and the conversation continues. Before long, Cash and the members of Emoticon arrive and interrupt their moment together. Cash pulls Megan away from Roger and asks what she thinks about a new song he has been working on. While talking with Cash, Megan begins to realize that they do not have much in common, yet she still finds herself attracted to him. Noticing her reaction, Cash invites Megan to Gooch's party that weekend, and she eagerly accepts the invitation. As she walks home, a car follows her from behind, and she's suddenly caught by the Prescotts. Hardman accuses her of working for another organization and plans to force the intel out of her. He decides to inject her with a truth serum. The serum clouds her senses and brings out her emotions. With tears in her eyes, Megan admits that she doesn't want to be an assassin and only wants to live as a normal girl. Hardman eventually agrees to let her go. Megan is then dropped off while still affected by the serum. She confronts Liz and tells her that Liz has been pretending to be a tough, lonely girl. Megan advises her to drop the act and build real connections with the people around her. She says all of this without holding back before eventually passing out. The next day, Megan sits with Roger during lunch. They have a deep conversation about what they truly want to do with their lives. Megan feels that she has never done anything useful, and Roger comforts her by saying that she has always been impressive in his eyes. Despite his kind words, Megan leaves Roger and joins Cash's table. Before leaving, she invites Roger to Gooch's party on Friday. Back at home, Liz and Mrs. Larson argue over whether Megan should be allowed to attend the party after coming home drunk the night before. Mrs. Larson insists that she should go and that Liz should go with her to make sure she stays safe. The two eventually arrive at Gooch's house. The party is wild, filled with loud music and alcohol, exactly how Megan imagined it would be. However, Agent 84, using the name Heather, is also there to keep an eye on Megan and ruin her mood. Heather is far more socially skilled and quickly becomes popular with the other students. Meanwhile, Liz enters a bathroom and runs into a drunk Gooch. Gooch recognizes her and invites her to drink tequila with him. Deciding to follow Megan's advice, Liz opens up and joins him. Upstairs, Megan and Heather spot Cash. The two immediately approach him, but Cash chooses Megan over Heather. Back in the hot tub, Liz and Gooch discover that they have a lot in common and begin forming a friendly connection. Then Roger arrives at the party and comes across the two enjoying themselves. He asks where Megan is and heads downstairs to find her. Unfortunately, he immediately sees Megan kissing Cash, and the sight leaves him heartbroken as he walks away in tears. The next morning, Liz is so drunk that she ends up sleeping on the couch. Cash invites Megan out for waffles and admits that he feels bad for leaving Liz behind. After the party, Liz returns home with a new tattoo on her face. Mrs. Larson is upset with Megan for leaving Liz alone while going out for breakfast. Even so, the incident helps Megan and Liz grow closer to each other. On her way to school, Megan is stopped by Hardman. He asks Megan to return to Prescott. He is worried about her safety because Victoria Knox has escaped from the facility. Megan refuses because she no longer wants to be a Prescott, especially now that things are finally going well for her in high school. Hearing this, Hardman accepts her decision, but warns her that she will be on her own when Knox comes after her. After missing the bus, Megan drives to school with Liz in her car. The two now share a more sister-like bond and talk comfortably with each other. Suddenly, an unknown vehicle pulls up beside them and opens fire. Megan immediately takes control of the situation while finally telling Liz the truth. She reveals everything about her past, how she was raised, and why someone wants her dead. Megan narrowly avoids crashing into a truck before making a sharp turn into a scrapyard. Even then, the pursuing vehicle remains close behind, eventually forcing them into a dead end. The chase continues until both vehicles crash. Fortunately, Megan and Liz survive the accident. Megan checks the other car and only finds the scent of Heather's perfume inside. At the hospital, Megan tells Hardman about Heather. Hardman reveals that he never sent Heather. According to him, Heather was believed to have died when Knox escaped. After putting everything together, Megan realizes that Heather has been working with Victoria Knox. She asks Hardman to return her equipment, but he refuses because she is no longer a Prescott agent. After Liz wakes up, Megan apologizes for lying to her and putting her in danger. Megan decides that she should leave in order to keep the Larsons safe. However, Liz refuses to let her go. Just as Megan is about to give up, she notices a drawing by Parker showing her as part of the Larson family. Touched by it, she hugs Parker and rushes back to Liz, where she finds Gooch with her. After talking things through, Liz steps outside and agrees to help Megan fight Victoria Knox. The next morning, Megan explains the plan to Liz, and the two prepare themselves for one unforgettable homecoming. They spend the day having fun together until night arrives. Later, Megan and Liz are picked up by their dates for the homecoming event. Once there, Liz and Gooch clearly enjoy being together. Megan and Cash, however, struggle to keep a conversation going. Megan tries making jokes with her puns, but Cash simply doesn't understand them. Realizing who truly understands her, Megan breaks things off with Cash right before his performance and goes to find Roger. She apologizes to him and tells him that he is the one she really wants. Unfortunately, Heather has already gotten close to Roger and is now his date. Without hesitation, Megan starts a confrontation that quickly turns into a fight as Heather launches a series of attacks. The two engage in a fierce battle that throws the entire party into chaos. Heather grabs a metal bar and swings it with impressive skill, but she still fails to hit Megan. Using a fire hose, Megan strikes Heather in the stomach and manages to pin her down. Heather then throws dust into Megan's face, forcing her to retreat. While searching for Megan, Heather reveals that Knox is targeting the Larson family. Just as Heather is about to stab Megan, Liz drives a corn dog into Heather's leg, giving Megan the opening she needs to take her down. Liz is thrilled and proud of what she has done. The two immediately rush home and take down one of the guards outside. Megan enters the house and confronts Knox at gunpoint. During their conversation, Knox reveals that she was the very first Prescott Agent 1. Suddenly, another guard appears with Liz as a hostage. With no choice, Megan surrenders and drops her weapons. She then cleverly challenges Knox to a fair fight, and the two begin battling immediately. When Megan starts gaining the upper hand, Knox pulls out a gun. Fortunately, Parker sets off a flashbang, creating an opening for the Prescott agents to storm the house. They quickly eliminate Knox's men one by one, and Hardman eventually captures Knox himself. Megan hugs Hardman and thanks him for coming back for her. Hardman finally admits that he also has an attachment to Megan and considers her his favorite student. He offers Megan a chance to return to Prescott as a deep cover agent while continuing to live with the Larsons. Afterward, Megan returns to the homecoming and sees Cash getting along with the teacher, but Roger is nowhere to be found. Roger has already been picked up by his father and is heading home. Suddenly, Megan arrives in a helicopter, confesses her feelings to Roger, and asks him out on another date. Roger happily accepts, and the two couples, along with Liz and Gooch, fly away smiling. In the end, Megan finally finds the connection she has always wanted, making her life far more meaningful and worth living.